All right. What is up, everybody? ShowScout0013 here coming in with my final video of the year and my final video until May. So I hope you guys definitely stick around and enjoy the content from the other moderators. I know that they will do well, and this channel should still grow. And when I get back, I know that we will expand a little bit more. I will be able to put more time and resources into the channel specifically for you guys, I hope, and that we'll be able to provide a lot more for y'all. And yeah, I think it'll be great. So, with that, while I'm gone, I hope that you guys join the Discord. You can, join here. You can see for the work in progress, a lot of the stuff that people are doing, the amazing content and photos that people have of some cool weathered, saber tanks, and that's from Malg, as well as Obi-Wan Kenobi from Boo Radley, and you know Akbal, and then in Hobby General. You've got a lot of stuff going on here, some really cool stuff from Pally. So yeah, join up. If you want to also talk about lists, you can also ask questions here. So, I was trying to help Ethan when he had his questions about getting a starter box and getting a Death Trooper squad, doing any type of upgrades and stuff. So if you've got questions, feel free to post in here. It'd be awesome to get to see you guys and talk to you guys, and I know everybody will be doing their best to kind of do contact with you guys. And lastly, please subscribe and leave a comment. That'll really help the channel grow. And don't be afraid that when I come back, I'll make sure that we're still doing a lot of stuff. All right, so let's talk today about the 212th. Let me just kind of go over real quick the 212th, Battle Force. So basically, you get Obi-Wan Kenobi, you get Clone Commander Cody, you get the Jedi Knight, Keeper of the Peace, and some specific upgrades. You only need one minimum core. You can have up to 4. Of the infantry or marksman, you can have up to 3 ARF troopers only, special forces. You can have up to 3 ATRTs, and you can have up to 3 heavies, which include the Saber Tank, the LAT, and the Infantry Support platform. All 3 of them are really cool. Again, you can only have up to 1 operative on this one, and then up to 2 commanders. So there's still a lot to do with the heavies and the vehicles, trying to make it really an actual vehicle-based attack battalion. But there are ways to make it mostly trooper as well if you wanted to, although you have to have a heavy, which is, still pretty fun to have. Like, seeing a saber tank on the table is really cool. Seeing 3 lats on the table is kind of like seeing three ATSTs, so that's pretty fun. And if you've bought a lot of ISPs, you're going to get to put them on the table. Same with saber tanks. So I've made a few different list ideas that hopefully we can go over today and you like. And then if you've got questions or if you've got, lists of your own, it'd be awesome to put them down in the comments or put them in the Discord even. So let's go over the first one. This will be 10 activations. This is primarily just using Cody, as if, Cody is going on a mission on his own with his own guys, because Kenobi is busy with Anakin. So you've got Commander Cody with Improv. You've got a regular clone infantry with clone engineer, so that's your only core. Then you have 3 ARF troopers with the duo. You have 2 ATRTs with the laser cannon. You have a saber tank with the shock pilot trooper to be able to hand out some surge tokens to the ARFs, probably, because your clone infantry is going to be able to provide one through reliable and share with the ARF troopers. And the other thing about the 212 that I forgot to mention in the beginning is that the tanks and the heavies and the vehicles can actually share aims and dodges with the clone infantry as if they were clone troopers themselves. So you get to actually do a lot more of the token sharing that you would in normal, clone lists. Now you can do that with the tanks, the saber tank, or the ISPs or the ATRTs, which really makes this go a long way. And it's super nice. So that is one of the other things. You can't quite share surge tokens, But yeah, it's pretty cool that you can do all that. So with Cody being able to, use take cover to give that to either the clone trooper, and maybe they decide to shoot the ATRT, well, you can still use that dodge sharing to give it to the vehicle. All right, and then you've got the beam turret and the high energy shells as well on the saber tank. And then you have a LAT patrol transport with the shock trooper, armor piercing, and door gunner. That way, it can kind of drop off your clone infantry, and you don't have to infiltrate them. You can just kind of put them wherever you want. And then you also have an ISP. So you got 3 heavies. And I figured, well, since we can fit 3 heavies, why not just kind of put one of each and just kind of see? And so you've also got the 327th Star Corps Elite Armor Pilots on here, which can basically give observation tokens after an attack. And then you also get the twin beam cannons. So you're going to be able to attack and then beam 2 more times. So that will give you 3 observation tokens out there. And then Cody can also hand out some observation tokens as well as the ARF Trooper. So you're kind of taking the most out of the observations on this. And with the beam turret here, that's pretty awesome to be able to do. And after you make the attacks, you're going to be able to give out a surge token with the shock pilot. And then high energy shells, just in case someone's trying to dodge up. You actually have the ability to, use high energy shells to get past those dodges. The other thing about this list is you can gain scout on the ATRTs, depending on how many ARF troopers you have, if you divulge the 1 pip. So the 212th, I guess I should have also come out with this first, has 3 different command cards that you can use. The first one is Sneak Attack. And Sneak Attack, does it not want to come up? There we go. Okay, so Sneak Attack. You can divulge it during setup. You can choose up to 2 core clone clone troopers, and each unit's going to infiltrate this game. Also, for each special forces unit in your army, you can choose a different vehicle unit, and each chosen unit is going to gain Scout 1. So it's not like Scouting Party, where if it already has Scout, you can't give them Scout. So the ATRTs could technically have Scout 2. And if you have the flamethrowers on there, you can Scout 2, and then you can move. And then by next turn, you can probably really do some damage. Another fun thing to do with that is if you put the comms jammer on the flamers, and then next turn, hopefully you're at either range 1 or you're getting close to range 1. By that third turn, you're going to really be able to wreak some havoc if the ATRTs are still alive. So that is one thing. And the ATRTs, again, they're red saves in the GAR in the Republic. I don't understand why we're looking at some old ones here. So yeah, I'll have to check my Tabletop Admiral and see if it is showing the new cards or not. But yeah, the ATRTs in GAR have red saves, so they should do a little bit better, and they have armor 2. And again, since they can share dodges, you could hope at range 2, you can try to, spin a dodge to cancel out one of the hits that might turn into a crit through impact. So there's at least some survivability with that. But I think that is a really fun plan. If not, you can always use you have 3 ARFs and you've got 5 vehicles. So you can choose to I'm going to give the ISP Scout 1, and then it could do a speed 3 move and do a lot of really fun stuff. The LAT, you're probably not going to give Scout because, after its move, you're going to, the transport unit is going to just disembark. So I would probably give it to the Saber Tank or the ISP, or if you've got Flamers, give them to the ATRTs. But since you have the 3 here, basically what I would do is give them to the ISP, the Saber Tank, and then 1 maybe to the ATRT. And, the Flamethrower and the Laser Cannon are all the same price, so why not have 1 if you're going to use this list? And it's 10 activations, so it seems like it should be a lot of fun. And again, with the fact that you've got the LAT and the Saber Tank being able to hand out surge tokens, you can give them to the ATRTs for their survivability as well, especially to the one with the Flamethrower. So after the Saber Tank makes an attack with the we'll just say the beam turrets. You could hand out the surge to them. After the lat performs an attack, you can hand out a surge token to the flamethrower, and then the door gunner gets to make an attack, and then that can also hand out a surge to the ATRT with the laser cannon. So you get like multiple surges out at least, and because I guess the clone infantry can already have that regular reliable just in case for the ARFs, and the ARF duos have a cash surge. So you've got some surges available, and you've got some fun things that you can do. So I wouldn't necessarily be worrying about trying to get the surge tokens onto the vehicles. All right, let's go to another one. This one's 9 activations. This one I think is really trying to make the most out of observation tokens and free actions. So you've got Commander Cody with Seize Initiative and Improv. Also with Seize Initiative and Target 1, you'll be able to give Cody an aim, which can again be shared with the vehicles. And Improv, you've got 2 clone infantry squads. Both of them have the captain, and both of them have the engineer. And then one has a shotgun, and the other one has the RPS. Trying to make use of close range and long range, as well as extra anti-armor stuff. You've got 2 ARF troopers with the Jedi Guardian and the duo, mostly because the Jedi Guardian is going to give you some sort of melee and pierce, and it's still giving you the extra, free action, since you don't really have anything necessarily that is going to work in melee very well except for the shotgun. So at least you've got 3 units here that can do something, and at least the ARFs now have charge, so that's pretty good as well. And you still get the surge through the duo. 2 ATRTs with the laser cannon. Again, you can pick and choose if you want the rotary blaster or if you want the flamethrower in there. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. And then you have a saber tank, again with the shock pilot, the beam turret, and link targeting array this time. And then you have the ISP, again with the twin beam cannons this time as well, and the 327 Star Core Elite armor. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. And you've got 2 ARF troopers. So if you wanted to make these both flamethrowers, you could just give the Scout 1 to the ATRTs if you divulge sneak attack, which is in your command hand. And if you go back and you decide to click the link in the description with the lists in them, you'll be able to get their command cards and the battle plans and kind of what I think they could do with these battle plans. I'm not going to necessarily go over all of them because each strategy just kind of depends on what your opponent's bringing, and really if you want to be playing outflank against units that you can really do it. I think outflank again is really great with vehicles, so I think that this list could actually do well, and especially because you could give your lat the outflank vanguard token, and then that also means your clone trooper infantry doesn't have to have a vanguard token because they're being transported, but you can't give the vanguard token to the infantry. And then you could give one to the flamethrower, and then you could also give one to maybe like the ISP, and then you have a saber tank and an ATRT with the laser cannon deploying on the long edge, along with 3 ARF troopers and Cody. So you have lots of long range on the long edge to be able to get range where you need to, and then you've got an ATRT with a flamethrower and a lat with door gunner and armor piercing shells, which is going to be kind of range 2 to 3 anyway. And then you also have the the ISP coming in with you, so you have lots of vehicles there. And the beam turret is 1 to 4, and that could really do well, at least close range still. And with the armor aspect of being able to hold down something, and yes, it's white saves, but you at least have 4 units on your short end instead of 3 like normal, because your transporting unit has a clone infantry squad with the engineer. So at least you get a little bit more oomph on your side, and with 10 activations, it's at least a little bit better distributed in that specific primary. So yeah, you're welcome to go check out the primaries and the command cards. So this one is 9 activations. You've got, lots of red saves, save the ISP, but you've got, quite big units, two clone infantry units with, a squad leader, a heavy, and a personnel slot. And you're going to be able to at least heal 2 wounds off of either the Saber Tank or the ISP. So it's like, well, do you want to shoot the ISP with red saves and armor 3 and cover 1 and maybe finally get like a hit through and then it, be healed off? Or do you want to try to shoot at the Saber Tank with red saves and armor 5 and then now you've got, again, the engineer being able to heal off some wounds from the red save unit. So hopefully I think the clone engineers finally are going to be seen on the table for once, because now you can actually fit 5 to 6 different vehicles in a list, and they're going to make up most of your list at that point. And so you kind of want some sort of clone engineer to be able to help yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if also, like, when we see this, so like if we hit 212th and maybe we go, 2 ISPs and a LAT, which is a little bit different, and you give both of them the pilots, the door gunner, and you decide to give them the armor-piercing shells, and hey, how about high-energy shells, just in case? And then the ISP is going to have the pilot, and we're going to go with the beam cannon, and then you've got Cody, let's just say for fun. Let's go with a really cheap Jedi Knight that can have, well, Guardian. We'll see if we have enough points for that with double-bladed, because that's so much fun. And then how about Master Duelist for that extra jump critical? Actually, because you already searched a hit, you don't have to have that. Even though it's giving you block, it's going to be hard to get those dodges unless Cody decides to give you those dodges. So let's give you Peacekeeping Mission, give you prepared supply, or prepared positions, since you could possibly do a lot with the command card to divulge them. And let's see, we've got the 2, let's go 3, 4, which is the max for core, and some ATRTs. 2 ATRTs, that's 11 activations. Let's go laser cannon for extra armor. And then you still have 30 points. Give Cody the improv, giving you 25 points. Jedi Knight now has room for, we're going to say, since he doesn't have Master of the Force or anything, Saber Throw wouldn't be too bad. Force Reflexes wouldn't be too bad. Hope would actually be, like, you don't have Inspire in this list, so Hope wouldn't actually be that bad. And, Clairvoyance could be okay. Burst of Speed would probably be the best. Let's just go with Burst of Speed for now. In Peacekeeping Mission, you have Reliable 2, so at least you've got some sort of surges with you. And then with 15 points left, you've got Cody. So with the LAT probably getting out a little bit more ahead of you, and the ISPs are 3. Let's make one of these a Flamethrower. Let's give him Comms Jammer. And let's give this one the onboard's comm channel. It's got long range, and maybe you can probably give one of these guys the engineers in order, sure, or the Jedi Knight in order with the onboard comms channel. And you can keep this ATRT pretty close to Commander Cody and the Jedi Knight, so they can kind of play off of each other. That way you always could give the Jedi Knight in order and give everyone else the command card orders that you need. 11 activations, you have 3 heavies and 2 ATRTs. So yeah, and you don't have to have Infiltrate in this one unless you really wanted to, because you don't have any special forces to give the scouts to ATRTs. But you could still at least have 4 engineers to heal any of these white saved units and or red saved units, especially the ATRT with the Flamethrower. Since you don't have Scout 2, you have Scout 1. You're probably going to Scout move round 1, and you're probably going to want those clone engineers pretty close to that specific one to be able to heal it before it goes down, before it can make an attack. And you got to be really careful with this ATRT. I'd probably put it on the board close to last, not kind of in the beginning, because obviously the Flamethrower is going to be very important. So if you can give it in order, with Cody or a command card, then that would probably be the best. And does kind of get rid of the onboard's comm channel, because it's only with onboard's comm channel, it's only to a... I thought it was to a trooper unit. I don't know what happened or why all of a sudden it's using a lot of the old cards. So I will actually have to go back real quick. Let me just real fast go to what's going on here and see if there is a reason it's showing the older versions of everything. But yeah, show options, light to it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't understand what is going on here. So that's really, really weird. Maybe it's just the fact that it's like the... Yeah, maybe it's just the fact that it's the 2/12. Let me put 2/12 on here. Sorry, guys. I just, for some reason, it's wanting to use the older images. No, okay, it's just whatever I finally had up. I don't know. All right, whatever. But, oh, yeah, so onboard comms. Let me just see if that is specifically for the onboard comms. Yeah, coordinate trooper unit. All that just for that. Okay, sorry, guys. But, yes, so it's just trooper unit. So it'd be kind of hard to get the, you know, a unit, the other flamethrower in order. But if you can just kind of, you know, find a way to do it to command cards. So like maybe round 1, you wanted to use, let's see, not combined arms, non-affirmative general. Man, that's pretty tough, I guess. And then flexible strategy. Flexible strategy is not wanting to come up. Yeah, just it's probably, you know, something weird right now. When a vehicle's issued in order, it can gain an aim or dodge. Yeah, maybe you go with this one, round 1, and you give an order to the ATRT with onboards. You give it to the Jedi Knight, and then you have 3 orders to give out. So you give it to all 3 heavies. Or no, you have to give it to the ATRT here, and then you give it to the ISPs. And so the only thing in the bag is your lats, your commander, and your core. And so you just probably use improv whenever you need to. And at least that kind of gives you a chance to, you know, take that ATRT last when you need to. Or, you know, it just kind of depends on what you would like. Okay, but that is the 9 activation list eventually as well. So let's go to one with the Cody and Jedi Knight. So this one is going to give you the ability to have some sort of melee threat. You have the Guardian, the double-bladed lightsaber, peacekeeping mission for that prepared positions, reliable 2, and saber throw because you don't have the ability to, you know, recover with Master of the Force, and you don't want to waste turns with a Jedi Knight or some sort of like heavy or kind of expensive-ish unit. And so being able to have saber throw on him before he gets into any kind of melee is really nice. Double-bladed lightsaber, you're going to throw a red and 2 black, and you've got 2 surge tokens each round that you can spend if you need to. You could also use those in, you know, and well, you already surged to hit with Guardian, so you don't have to spend them. You don't have to spend those surge tokens on offense at all, which is really, really nice. You've got 2 clone infantries with the engineers. You've got Cody with improv and recon to make sure that he can, you know, scout onto the board. Maybe if he has to hand out a dodge to the Jedi Knight, he can. And if you instead wanted a Jedi peacekeeping mission, you know, you could do like Master Duelist if you wanted to. I would not. I would probably do like, you know, Force Adept. I mean, the Acumen could actually be pretty decent, but you only have 2 guys. It'd probably be more decent with if you had, you know, core units like this, because with the Clone Captain, the RPS, and all that stuff, you know, you'd be able to guidance them to have a dodge if they needed to. Also, with this one, if you had, you know, onboard comms on one of them and you were able to give one of these clone infantry an order each time, they'd be able to get a dodge. So that would actually be kind of worth it every now and then. But you have 2 engineers here. You've got an ARF trooper with a duo, an ARF trooper with a duo, and smoke grenades because they have low profile. And so being able to, give them the ability to hide behind smoke is actually going to be really, really good for them. And then you have 3 ATRTs, one with the flamethrower and comms jammer, 2 of them with the laser cannon for some long range, and then you have 2 ISPs built the same way, with the 327th Star Core and the twin beam. I can't pronounce that right. TWIM. That doesn't make any sense. At least hopefully you guys are laughing at me. Twin beam cannons on both, and then one of them has link targeting array and one of them has onboards comm channel. So you probably give the ISP with the onboards in order so that you can give the Jedi Knight in order. So now you've given out 2 orders without playing a command card yet. And then obviously you can give out some orders if you need to. You divulge for sure, because I think we've decided to use sneak attack instead of flow of the force since your Jedi doesn't need to recover. Yes, having an aim, a dodge, and a standby could actually be much better than maybe bring it down. But I guess it just kind of depends, because I put recon division in here because, being able to have your enemy not take away the observation tokens at the end of the round and then bring it down could really play well into if you wanted to bring them to heal at some point. I put these in there. Ooh, not mark targets. Let's just go bring them to heal. Why not? Even though Cody is courage 2, you can change saber throw to hope. It just kind of depends on what you would like to do. But at least you could win that one. And because you've got, lots of beams on here and long range stuff, it actually could do really well with the long range and being able to get suppression on them without them getting suppression on you as much until needed. So that's just a way to do it. It's 11 activations still with 5 vehicles and lots of scout. Because then you've got, 2 ARF troopers that you can give the scouts to the flamethrower or both of the ISPs. Just kind of depends on your flavor and what you'd like. But yeah, the smoke grenades is just because there were some extra, points left over. But if you decided to do hope instead of saber throw, and then you got rid of smoke grenades, it gives you 5 more points, and maybe, you put another flamethrower on there and a comms jammer. So now you've got 2 flamethrowers and comms jammer, and you still have onboards and link targeting array and all that other good stuff. And now you've actually got some sort of Inspire 1, so you can make sure to be able to keep someone from trying to panic as much as possible. So it's just kind of a little bit harder with the Courage 2, but it's a risk. If you're willing to take it, you can. It's just up to you. But 11 activations is pretty nice. And then you still have a melee threat. You still have the ability to do long range, and you've got really good close range, and then you've got, some heavies that can go in outflank if you needed to, as well as, 2 engineers that can follow those ISPs and down the middle or on one side. And you've got 2 ATRTs that could have the Vanguard token, as well as maybe a, if your ATRTs are going down there, maybe you at least do 1 engineer for the ATRT flamethrowers and make your opponent work a little harder. And then lastly, it's a 10 activation list with Obi-Wan with Force Barrier, Force Reflexes, and Offensive Defensive Stance. He is going to Barrier and Reflexes and Guardian everyone. And you're probably going to load him up with a free Force Reflexes, so 1 dodge. You take a dodge, that's 3 dodges. And then you move, and then Cody can give him a dodge. And so that'd be 4 dodges. And then you still have Barrier, and you've still got Guardian. So the Jedi Knight is probably never going to get hit, or Cody is never going to get hit, because you keep them close together. And then you've got 2 infantry units with the Clone Engineer. You've got 1 ARF Trooper duo. You have 2 ATRTs, 1 with a flamethrower, 1 with a laser cannon. And then you have 2 LATs with the Shock Pilot, Armor-Piercing Shells, and the Door Gunners to be able to get off more attacks if possible. And with the 2 infantry guys, you're putting them in the LATs, so you're not having to take the 1 pip. So now you could actually take, Obi-Wan's and the Jedi Knight's 1 pip instead of Cody's, if you wanted to. And I would probably just for now do that because why not? They're probably going to be more of the units that go forward and are getting into your opponent's lines than Cody. You could do Have I Ever Let You Down because you've got two units that are going to be melee threats and you kind of want to protect them. And if they're getting hit, then Cody can just kind of shoot at them. Also, it's great to be able to give Obi-Wan this because of Guardian and because, you give the order to Kenobi. If he's going to suffer a wound, regardless because of that attack, if he uses Guardian, then you can still use Cody to attack. So it's kind of really works out really well as long as Cody is within range 4 and in line of sight of him. So that's why you want to keep Cody next to Kenobi and even the other Jedi Guardian if you need to. And then Knowledge and Defense is always good. Affirmative General because free movements from not handing out orders is fine. And I'm still not exactly sure which comes first. Like if you can, from the command card, you don't give out an order. So you do the free move, but then you direct a unit through onboard's comms. I think if you have it. No, you don't have it. Okay, so never mind. But yeah, you are able to give either Kenobi a free speed 1 move, or Cody a free speed 1 move, or the clone trooper infantries, or the ARFs, give them a free speed 1 move. It works even better if one of them has like an RPS. But I didn't have any heavy weapons on the troopers because you're bringing a lot of like heavy units anyway. And you're bringing a lot of vehicles with just still 10 activations. And, you still can give yourself, after using armor-piercing shells and, the Arsenal 2 with the twin laser cannons, give yourself a surge token and then use the door gunner to shoot and then give out another surge token to whoever. You're more than welcome to. It's just, I like the fact that the vehicles can share the aims and dodges with the normal infantries and other guard units like Cody and all them. But yeah, Cody being able to hand out a dodge with take cover to either Kenobi or the Jedi Knight is going to be really, really well. Work really, really, really well, I should say. And, Obi-Wan is going to be dodged out and is not going down for a while. And Force Barrier also, you got quite a lot that he can do with Barrier against these trooper units. And so, yeah, your trooper units are fine. So they're probably going to be wanting to shoot at the vehicles, and then still you've got a lot of clone engineers to heal those vehicles. So it's like no matter who they shoot at, they're probably not getting a lot of wounds through. And then your Jedi Knight can just come up behind one of the ATRTs and then break away and do what he needs to do. And then he's got Hope, and maybe instead of Hope, or, he's got Consular. The Jedi Knight has Consular this time, so he's got Steady. And you're bringing the Master Duelist with block and outmaneuver, so that way if Cody again wants to give him a dodge, he can. And now you've got the Surge to defend. You've got the twin lightsabers and saber throw with Steady. So now you can throw 4 black, pierce 1, impact 2, instead of just the blast and impact 2. So that's a lot better, and it's high velocity with the twin sabers. And then you have Hope. And I gave him all of this because he doesn't, again, have Master of the Force to recover anything. So, and then Master Duelist because, the block is really working well with Cody. And then being able to have Critical 1 on your melee unit with the twin lightsabers, since you're not surging to hit or have any reliable tokens, like any surge tokens, that extra crit 1 is going to help really well with those black and white dice. But yeah, that's 10 activations. That's two force users along with some long range stuff and lots of vehicles. So yeah, these are just different ideas. I'm going to leave all 5 lists down in the comment or down in the description below. So if you're interested, you can just go look there. Let me know what you guys think of all of the lists. And yeah, that is it. So it has been a lot of fun being able to make videos for you guys. I really enjoy making videos, and especially with Legion. I still plan to come back to Legion full force. I have just finished for before Christmas now. I've gotten, and it's before, right now it's Sunday, the week of, and I haven't quite gotten all the stuff from my family, but I know at the moment I just have a box of Dark Troopers, I have an ISP, I have ARFs, and I have the Custom Jedi, and I've got, what else? I see ISP, ARFs, Custom Jedi, Dark Troopers, and I think there was one more. I think I had 5 things. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh well. Oh, and Marksman. Unopened, unpainted boxes of those 5 things. And as soon as I get done and back in May, I'll be able to start painting again and making videos. I'll have to catch up on everything from Adepticon and all the new releases and everything coming out. I'll get caught up on that, and I'll make sure to give you guys a good video to show you all that I'm back and that I'm super excited about everything. So yeah, please just stay subscribed. The channel is going to continue putting out content, thanks to Grant and Master Mud and everyone else. I think that we're gonna, and Graham and possibly the Chosen One, I think that they're gonna still be doing stuff, and I think even Coco Zula might do some things for the channel. So it's still gonna be putting out content for you guys, because that is the number one reason I wanted to make this channel in the first place, because it's a game that I really connected to, because Star Wars, I grew up on 4, 5, and 6. Like, that was like everything for me. I would sit out in the garage with the TV that I had in the garage when I was like in elementary school and watch Return of the Jedi all the time. And at night, when pretty much everyone's practically asleep, I'm watching Empire Strikes Back. And I was 9 years old when the Phantom Menace came out, and I had the bed sheets and the curtains of Anakin Skywalker, Pod Racer, and all that stuff. And then I think the first lightsaber I wound up ever getting was Darth Maul's lightsaber. And this Star Wars has always been a huge thing for me, and I love the fact that now we have a game that you can really kind of personalize and make miniatures. So you have your tiny little action figures, and then you can actually use them. Like, I would play with my army men all the time as a kid, and then when I was 13, I started getting into the Lord of the Rings tabletop game, and I would just go downstairs in the basement, and I never knew how to actually play the game. I never figured it out, but I would put my Jenga blocks in the forms of forts, and then I would just kind of rush the 2 in and just kind of pretend or whatever. But now that, I can, put these miniatures on a table and there's rules and I know how to play, it's so much better. So I enjoy making this type of content, and I really think that more people should play this game. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to do in making this content. And the original video that I made was, there was a friend of mine who was interested in playing Star Wars Legion, and instead of just writing out a list for him because he had no idea what he was doing, I wanted to make something where he could just kind of like listen to it while he was at work before the game day and just figure out like, okay, well, this is the list that I made for you. These are the strategies and the combinations you can use when you're playing this list. So think of this whenever you are playing me today. That was the original point of this channel, and it just wound up growing into a channel that or a game that I really, really enjoyed playing and wanted more people to play. And I'm glad that the Discord has grown, that this channel has grown, that you guys are super fantastic. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Definitely, keep me in your mind and your thoughts and your prayers, and I will be back. And I can't say that enough. But thanks, guys. I will see y'all in May. So may the Force be with you, and don't stop playing the game. Thank you.